Yeah, well, we've got a recording running right now with Craigbot, so that is good to go. Let's see.
It'll be useful in case mine fails for some reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
have a backup
so
one.
you can feel free to start recording whenever you want, Landy. We're
Yeah,
just giving you
I
a
hit
couple
it.
more. All right. I guess Ryan is the last one we're waiting on.
Yeah, I think Ryan's AFK or something.
All right. Well,
She'll be back soon.
yeah, I'm sure. But anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that everyone is doing good. Doing good. How is everyone in the chat? How is everyone? Is everyone having a good night?
I know I am. I'm really excited about this panel.
Oh, I am too.
Me too.
It's gonna be really cool.
This is one of our most... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kelp.
Looks like Ryan's here, so I'm gonna invite Ryan on up. Hello, hello, hello.
Oh.
Hello, Ryan.
Let me get a water real quick. Something just...
Feel free, absolutely. We got about 5 minutes before the panel officially begins, but we're just making sure everything is all set up and ready to go, and then we will start right on the dot at 8 o'clock.
Good stuff.
Woo. Do you guys have... I know it's Saturday now here in the States. Do you guys have any other additional fun plans going on?
I'm currently in Oregon. Oregon.
Yeah, what?
Oregon. Visiting my girlfriend. She's
Okay, we're good.
just in the other room.
Fine.
She has some animation projects that she's working on for her class, and I've been sort of, giving her some guidance on that front.
That's awesome. So not only you do music, but you do animation as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
And modeling.
Thank you. Yeah,
Tech's kind of
Modeling-
a jack of all
modeling-
trades.
modeling takes the energy right out of me, though. Actually, no,
That's
rigging
amazing.
does that more than modeling.
Oh,
That
tell
is
me about it.
amazing.
That's like the least fun part of modeling for
Yeah.
me.
Then you gotta-
sick 3D people probably get a kick out of it, but me, nah. I like animation and modeling. I don't like having to do the skeleton stuff.
the weight painting, cleaning up all that, and just however, I did help my girlfriend get something, a character modeled for her final project, so I'm
That's
happy
nice.
that I could bring that to life.
That sounds fantastic. How about the rest of
Oh.
you? Any fun plans?
Sorry,
Oh,
one more thing.
go ahead.
It's her own character too. Someone that she created herself.
That is
Anyway.
super cool.
That's great.
Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry about that. I was just getting some things squared away.
It's all
You're right.
good.
That's fine.
But we are all good. We got about 3 minutes.
Woo! How about you, chat? Are you guys doing anything fun this weekend?
Yeah, let us know in chat. We'll keep an eye out on what you guys are saying.
I love everybody's profile pictures.
Yesterday, someone's seeing the Batman tonight. Someone's also watching the Batman. Yeah, I saw it too. It's a very good movie.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna say any spoilers because I don't do that. But yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Pretty solid, yeah.
So.
Oh, did you see it, Gerbil?
Yeah, I loved it. It was really good.
That's great to hear.
All right, so.
If you loved it, and it's not even the
Yeah.
kind of Batman you particularly like, I mean,
Nah,
must be
I
pretty.
thought it was great. I thought it was like a really interesting mix of like serious Batman and like traditional Batman.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
Very, very over the top, but it is dark.
it's a good
The
movie.
soundtrack was incredible. Like,
Mm.
That's what I will say. Anyway, it's getting close to 8, so Sydney, you want to go ahead and let's start this sucker off?
Let's do it. All right,
Let's do
hello
it.
everyone. I am Blue Moon 88,
And I am
and
Diet Dr. Kelp.
oh, go ahead, go ahead, Kelp.
All right, welcome to the Adrenaline Dubs Q&A panel. We're gonna learn a lot more about what goes on behind the scenes and how they got started with their projects and their creative endeavors. So, with that being said, everyone give a huge round of applause and a huge thanks to Landy, Sergeant Gerbil, Techno Cinema, and Call Me Ryan for coming on out and agreeing to do this panel for you guys. And with that being said, Sydney, you wanna have the panelists introduce themselves?
Yeah, let's go ahead and have you guys just tell us about what you do and who you are.
What order do we go in?
I think we
Bottom.
should just go. We'll go with Landy first, and then we'll go down the line to Call Me Ryan.
All right, cool. Hi, everybody. I'm, Landy. I started this channel alongside Ryan and one of our other friends, Trev. I was the lead video editor for a long while, and I was just kind of one of the... I was just one of the founders, basically. I voice Sonic, I voice Knuckles, Orbot, Ruff, and yeah, that's what I do. I guess we'll move
Awesome.
on to Ryan then.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, I'm Ryan. You may know me better as Sarah the Cat Love. I am the new lead video editor for Adrenaline Dubs. I've also worked on Tangle and Whisper, the annual stories, and I also voice Amy, Tails, Cream, and Charmy.
Awesome. All right, Gerbil, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. Hey, I'm Sergeant Gerbil. I've been friends with Ryan and Landy for a few years now. I started in 2020. I made the Sonic Boom comic. Then I made the 30th anniversary comic dub, and now I'm the leader of the new Archie comic dub initiative. And I voiced Knack in the classic universe and Boom Sonic.
Awesome. All right, Techno.
Hi, I'm Tech, and since Adrenaline Dubs issue 15 video, I have been the composer behind all the original music that you hear in their comic dubs. Making music with a story to tell has always been my biggest passion, and to apply that to, a franchise that was part of my childhood is just an amazing opportunity for me. I also voice Omega.
Is awesome. Awesome. All right. And I do understand that Sydney has a little bit of connection to Adrenaline Dubs. You want to talk about that?
Oh, yes. So I am part of the cast. I do play Vanilla and some extras.
All righty. Awesome. So, I think that's a good way to introduce everything. So for each of you, I think we'll just go ahead and we can start the questions. All right. So I'll start out with the first one. For each of you, how did you get introduced to the Sonic franchise, and what do you like so much about it?
I guess I should go first, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we'll go down the line, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. So the way I got into the Sonic franchise was, kind of how everybody did. I just played the original games. We used to have this media center, and it had an ungodly amount of Genesis and SNES games, and the Genesis was what I was a little more attached to, so naturally I just played the Sonic games. And from there, I was just kind of taking in all the Sonic content that I could get. I was watching Sonic X while that was still running on CW, and before that it was called 4Kids. And once we got a Roku, I started watching Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Underground. That's something that not a lot of people know, is that I actually grew up on Sonic Underground. I don't remember much from it, but that was one of the shows that kind of made me really, really appreciate Sonic, even though looking back, I'm not too fond of it. So then later on, I I got into the fan game scene, and one time when I was a young little lad and a little bit of a show off, somebody from the Sonic World team, I think it was Cypheus, she was hosting some kind of stream, and they were talking about voices, and I was like, oh, I can do a good Sonic, because at the time I was trying to work on a Sonic impression, and so I did it. Somebody ended up hearing it, and they brought me onto their fan game, and through that I made a bunch of different connections, and that kind of just led to where I am now.
All right, awesome. Gerbil, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, no problem. So, it's been a long time. I can't exactly trace what exactly it was that got me into Sonic, but I do remember when I was a young kid, I had Sonic Heroes on the PlayStation 2 when I moved to Australia, and I had that really bad PC version of Sonic 3D Blast, the one with the European box art with like the really messed up like clay-looking face. Yeah, and that was like my thing. Like that was my jam. Those two games, and I grew up with a really big love for Sonic Heroes, like the art direction and the music and the voice acting and all that jazz. Um, I got into the fan game, the Sonic community scene. I think the said project that Landy was brought on to voice Sonic for. I when I was about maybe 14 or 15. I saw a fan game, like a trailer on YouTube for it, or like an update work in progress video. And I joined their Discord and auditioned for Shadow when I was very young, thinking that I could do a really good Shadow, when that wasn't very much the case. And we were all kids at the time, pretty much, so they liked it, and that's how I met Landy. And later on, I met Ryan through an OC Discord, and yeah, I kind of joined late into the adrenaline spectrum, I guess. So don't have a huge history with that just yet, but yeah, started off with Sonic Heroes, and I'm thankful for it.
Awesome. Techno, you want to go ahead?
I'm sort of in the same boat as Gerbil with Sonic Heroes. That was one of my first Sonic games. Before that, though, the first ever Sonic game that I owned was I got as a birthday present. It was Sonic Advance 2. Um, and after that, um, that just sort of spawned my, mad interest for it, for the franchise, and as well as like all the music that's in the Sonic Advance franchise. That's where most of my inspiration today even comes from when scoring for Adrenaline Dubs. After Sonic Heroes, I sort of like uh left the franchise behind a bit. I came back periodically during like middle school and high school, and then you know uh I came back during like to play like Generations and Forces when Forces was just coming out. Um, but it was IDW that really gave me my enthusiasm for the franchise. Just that mix of the mix of like how the characters should be written and how nostalgic some of the references were.
That's awesome. And last but not least, we will go with Call Me Ryan.
Yeah. So growing up, I played Sonic Heroes and Sonic Riders on the GameCube. Ironically, I really did not like playing those games. So like I wasn't really invested into Sonic until my friend introduced me to Sonic X. And that's when I fell in love with Sonic and discovered like the whole fandom and like all the other games that were released and the Archie comics and stuff. And like I got super obsessed with it, and I tried doing the impressions of Amy and Cream, and And then back in 2018, I think, was when I joined a fan project called Sonic Shattered Realities. That's sort of how I got to know Landy and Trev and a couple of other people, also part of the Adrenaline cast. And then, like months later, we went ahead and made Adrenaline dubs. So,
If I may add something very quickly, now that three of us have mentioned Sonic Heroes, I just realized I had the worst version. I had the PlayStation 2 version. And the thing that would happen to me is at Egg Emperor, right? Playing as Team Sonic, I would accidentally be right under them when I defeat the boss. So I just see him fall on top of the entire team. I lose my rings as I hear him go, "Defeated? Impossible! No!" And then the next thing I know, I'm back at the beginning. "I'll show you what real evil is."
oh my god.
Literally 2 seconds later, I'm like, I beat him though. What? Anyway, that's that's that story.
Sonic Heroes is
Someone with
great.
The PS2 version myself. I know how that worked.
Thank you.
I wish I could
Thank
say
you.
I wish I could say I grew up with Heroes, but unfortunately I did not. I played it way late. I think the only games that I had played before around like maybe like 2014 or something. The only Windows is doing an update thing that's going to appear on my recording. The only games that I had played were like Sonic 1 and 2 and 3 and Secret Rings. I think I played Ultimate Flash Sonic, but that's not an official game. It's so weird. I've like everybody has like a background in like, oh, I played all of these Sonic games growing up. I only played a few, just a handful. I'm just sitting around. It's like, should I be playing more of these games now that I'm like voicing Sonic? At some point, like 2014 or 15, I did end up playing Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, though. So you know.
Awesome.
It's never too late.
Well, Sydney, you want to go ahead and ask the next question?
Yeah. So, we talked. I know you guys just briefly addressed this, but tell us more about how Adrenaline Dubs came about.
I guess I should start. So, we were working on Shattered Realities, and we had collected quite a sizable cast for that, and just a decent crew, for that project before it unfortunately went under because it was just we were losing motivation, and it was way too big. But thankfully, a good amount of the crew was able to stick around, and so we had that. We had Shattered Realities, but midway through, we gotten a call in another server. We were just having fun hanging out, and we had the idea, hey, most of us are voice actors. We should like take this Archie comic run, the post reboot stuff. We should just like dub it live in this call, just to have some fun. Doesn't really matter what happens. And we just had a good time just expanding our ranges and just performing all these characters. I remember the characters I had a lot of fun doing were Rotor, which was just, it was a version of my Knuckles that was a lot more chill, and it almost sounded like Markiplier. And then there was Chip, who, oh god, my Chip was terrible, but it was funny. But yeah, we were doing that idea, and then the IDW comics were coming around. So we had the idea, maybe we should, like, comic dubs are cool. Maybe we should, like, start a dub series for the IDW comics, because, we had fun doing that Archie stuff. So we ended up starting Adrenaline Dubs, and just bringing on a good amount of the Shattered Realities team. Like Ryan was there. Trev, of course, was is still one of the co-leads. We had Cole come on from Shattered Realities. We had I think Hyper there? I don't remember. Doesn't remember. Oh no, Hyper
I
wasn't
don't
there.
know.
But yeah, Hyper came on later. He was in our server. He joined our server, and then I was like, oh, I like this guy's stuff. I should get him to voice a character. So we did. Yeah, it was. But yeah, basically it just all started from us doing a live dub of Archie in a call, just having fun. And then since IDW was right around the corner, we were like, we should make some video like comic dubs out of this. We could start like a little thing. We did not expect it to get as big as it did. We expected maybe like 1,000, 2,000 subscribers. We thought we were going to be pretty niche, but a lot of people kind of glided over because I guess IDW comic dubs were really popular at the time. So a lot of the channels that would go on to like just keep making IDW dubs ended up getting a lot of traction out of it, and we were one of those.
Well, you guys do incredible work, so
Yeah,
it's no wonder to me that you guys have so many subscribers.
Yeah, all the work you guys put in is super awesome. Seeing the finished dubs is always a treat. With every new episode, I'm always right there watching it.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely.
It's funny when we started comic dubs. I don't think any of us. Well, I mean, I was the lead video editor, the only video editor back then. I think, at least actively working. Dylan ended up doing some mini dubs later, and so did Ryan. But at the time, I was pretty much the only one doing comic dubs, and I had a very in-depth background with video editing because I come from like the YouTube poop scene, and making YouTube poops requires like good YouTube poops because I have a crazy high quality standard for about everything I make. So making like YouTube poops that I felt were worthy of posting online it took a lot of learning and challenges to like hurdles to overcome. And so when we did Adrenaline Dubs, I just kind of transferred that video editing knowledge right over. And I had never edited specifically comic dubs, but I just kind of inferred from the comic dubs I had watched at the time and was just like, okay, so this is like how it's supposed to be done. And, the text needs to appear as it's spoken. And so I was like, okay, let's do that.
All right. Well, that sounds awesome.
Do any of you guys want to add into that?
I think you covered it pretty well.
Yeah, that's pretty much the origin story.
And I wasn't there at the beginning, so I can't speak for anyone.
Yeah, the way we met Tech was I knew his work from Sonic Omens, and as we were approaching the Metal Virus, I was thinking like, oh God, what music are we going to use for this series? I already kind of broke the whole Sonic music only rule by using a song from Black Mesa when Starline first appeared because I thought it fit. So I was like, oh God, what are we going to use when the Metal Virus rolls around? And then suddenly, as I was considering maybe reaching out to a composer, Tech comes into the server and we're in a call just hanging out. And he's like, by the way, if you guys need like custom music for your dubs, don't hesitate to ask. And I was like, oh, thank you. That saves me all the, like, internally I was like, thank you. That saves me all the work of approaching you and getting nervous because I have autism. I am not good at well, I'm better now. But at the time when Tech asked to join, I was not at a state where I felt like approaching people because I felt intimidated. But Tech just came up and was like, hey, yeah, I can do music for you. And it's like, oh, thank God. We needed that for Metal Virus. And the Metal Virus has, the music for the Metal Virus has just completely changed the mood. I can't imagine using stock Sonic music for that anymore. I don't even want to know how much different in tone it would have ended up. It's just great. There are other people who use stock Sonic music, and that's totally well and cool. There are some people who are really smart and just make really great picks. I'm just personally grateful that we did end up meeting up with Tech when we did.
I want to comment on that.
I don't trust myself to pick Sonic music that wouldn't get stale. Plenty of other people do it just fine, though. I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna use the same song every time, and I don't want to do that.
I first of all, I do want to say we stan being on the spectrum and anxiety. So, I remember the temp music that you gave me for the end credits was just like the damage percussion infested forces
It was the mission
map
select screen
music.
or
Mission
whatever.
select screen, yeah.
Yeah, and then when you said the first like work in progress for that credits theme, I was like, oh my god, he has the drums. Yeah, it was great. I'm glad you based it off of that. I mean, it made sense because I already synchronized everything to it, but you know, it was nice. It's a great track.
Thank you.
Well, that is awesome. That is awesome to hear. I know, speaking from experience, every time I hear the credits roll on some of the Metal Virus dubs, when I hear the theme for the Metal Virus saga, it's so good. It's really good.
Agreed.
It creeps up on you,
Yeah, another
and then hits you when you
Yeah.
don't expect it, just like the Metal
theme.
Virus itself.
Just like the metal. Yep.
That was so cringy.
Anyway, I think I'll ask the next question. When it comes to like behind the scenes and producing the dubs, what usually is the process that you follow, like from conception to actually producing?
So it's weird. I don't personally I can't speak to the others, but I don't personally have much of a pre-planning process. I'll think of specific moments that I want to realize, but aside from that, a lot of it is just going with the flow. I start out receiving all of the material and just getting the pages whited, and then I'm ready to go, and I can just kind of edit together. Again, I just kind of go with the flow. I work with the material. I'll literally always start out with is the voices and the images, and then I just kind of do all the editing, or I guess now whoever's doing the video editing per video just handles the editing, and after that, like main video editing is done, or sometimes we just have like half the video done and we send it in as work in progress, and we can have the sound guys start to work on it, and the sound guys. It used to just be that we would wait for the full editing to be done, but now we can send like halfway in so that they can get started sooner. But yeah, the sound guys tackle it, and then at the very end, Tech tackles the music. Sometimes he adds his own sound effects, which are always spectacular. But yeah, that's kind of the process. We just start with just video editing, then sounds, then music. And again, like I don't personally have like much of a plan going in. I just kind of go with the flow. I don't like pre-plan before editing. Like, okay, I'm gonna have this panel move like this. I just kind of I see a panel on a page, and I'm like, okay, well now I have to figure out how that's gonna be cropped and how that's gonna move. I can't speak to the others. I guess I'll let Gerbil go about his process, because I think because the Archie comics have a completely different style of editing, so I think that'd be interesting to cover.
You want me to go now, or
Yeah.
are you still? Yeah. Okay. I'm obviously the guy who is currently running our Archie reboot dub run, and my style is a little bit different. I definitely would not say better, but I would say different. And what I do is I have to see, because it's a whole series, and because there's so many different comics that kind of lean into each other. Like there's a side series of Sonic Universe that has crucial information that affects the main series. There has been a whole 200 issues before 250, 255 that in 252, sorry, that require context. And so it's for me, the process is a little different, and kind of have to go through all the comics, single out all the moments that are most impactful and have the most relevance to the story, and then put a larger emphasis on them. So, for example, Chip appears in the main comic sometime around the Sonic the Fighters arc. Uh, it never shows Chip joining the Freedom Fighters, and that's covered in a Sonic Universe issue. So what I have to do then is dub that issue, because otherwise the issue after that isn't going to really make any sense. In terms of sound design, music, Tech obviously handles the music for Archie as well. He's doing the music for pretty much everything. Um, Ideally, sometime down the line, we'll probably get more composers as well to help Tech out, ease the load. And what I do is I cut up all the panels individually, which takes a very long process. It takes a few days. And I basically have them cut out so it's more dynamic and feels more like a comic book rather than like a TV show, I guess. The IDW dubs feel more like they are a um, almost like a visual uh, TV show like representation of the comics, and I feel like that helps their story a lot more. And but for obviously for diversity reasons, I myself decided to go with a different editing style. I handle all the sounds as well. I pretty much do everything myself apart from the voices and the music. And yeah, we all have our own little design processes and quirks that make our style pretty unique, in my opinion.
All right. Well, that is awesome.
Ryan,
See,
did you want to offer anything?
No, my process is pretty much the same as Landy's. Just editing and then sound effects and then music.
And Tech?
My process is FL Studio and a boatload of VSTs. It's my arsenal.
What's your do you have like an active composition process, and what's that like?
Well, like you, I kind of go with the flow most of the time, but some of it's premeditated. Like, you know, I I've read I've read all the comics up to the current one, so I know kind of what I'm going to be able to compose before I sit down. Um, a big example is issue 22, where the outbreak scene starts happening. Uh, that darn monkey. Um, that track has been in the drafts since November 2020. So that one was way premeditated.
Yeah, that one was like he had that one at least when he had joined the team, and we were really excited to hear it.
It might, like, as for like, you know, my decisions when I'm in the process of composing, it usually comes down to what will tell the story the best, what will move, you know, the audience the most, what themes could hold the most emotional value during a specific moments. Another example I like to call back to is issue 21, where I use the melody from Believe in Myself from Adventure 2 as a tribute to the tornado walker getting blown up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he largely uses his own motifs for characters, but sometimes you have moments like that where he'll throw in like an old melody to just add a lot more depth to it.
As much creative freedom as I like to put into this, I gotta have some callbacks.
Yeah. I think Tech is the only person, well, one of the only people I've ever heard that, because Sonic Advance music is really, really hard to remix without it sounding off.
Yeah. The first
Tech
track
is
I
like
did.
Tech is one of the only people I've heard who just is really, really able to remix advanced music in a way that still sounds like exactly how it did on the GBA, just in HD. It's very impressive. And that's not to knock any other composer. It is so hard to make those GBA tracks sound good. You listen to the original, like, Non-Aggression on GBA, it's a good song, but obviously it being GBA music, it's super crunchy. It's not that fond. It's not that nice on the ears. It's a little grating, and that's just the nature of the GBA sound. And then Tech's remix of it just sounds like if the original song wasn't composed for the GBA and just instead made as a CD quality audio track from the get-go. It's very impressive.
I do want to also mention not just remixing, but orchestrating those themes into, you know, my compositions. The first track I ever did it was issue 15, was Echo Mine, and that whole bit was an orchestration of the boss music from Sonic Advance 2.
Yeah. Oh god, that issue's music was just what's the word? What an opener to Tech's soundtracks for the dub series. Just I could not think of a better way to start that new Metal Virus era
Yeah.
than
My only
that
regret-
issue 15 soundtrack.
My only regret, if talk about that same issue, is not being able to, at least in context, not being able to feature the rough and tumble theme in full.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least you got to upload it separately later.
Of course.
It is a shame that I wish I
I'll-
had you earlier so that like when they appear you could have done that.
I might be able to use it later too.
Oh yeah.
Who knows?
Ooh.
We definitely do amazing work. All of you do. And speaking of which, what is something you wish people knew about producing these dubs?
How long they take and how much effort
Yeah.
goes into them.
Yes. Yes.
You can't rush art.
Yeah. No offense to anybody, but we do get commenters a lot who are like, "Where's the next IDW issue?" Or like, "Where's the next Archie issue?" Or like, "Where's
Like 2 days after like it's been uploaded.
Yeah.
Or it's just immediately after even.
yeah."
I'm
We get
waiting.
some pretty we get some pretty angry people sometimes asking when the next issue is going to be. And I mean I get the hype, but like these things take time. We basically make them we start work on them basically as soon as the last issue is finished, and it takes a lot of time. The effort that goes into a dub is monumental because there's so much video editing that goes into it. There's so much sound design, a lot of sometimes we have to re-edit the pacing, or sometimes we need to replace takes with new ones, and sometimes we just have to wait for material. Like right now, I'm waiting on a retake from our Eggman, Josh Gilholm, because he missed a line and he's been kind of busy, so we haven't been able to get it yet. So sometimes we just have holdups. Battle for Angel Island, we had a very large holdup because our Tails actress was radio silent for a long time, so we had to get Ryan to fill in, and we had to get Skrillo to fill in for Blaze because that person also did Blaze. So that particular issue set us back a lot.
Yeah, I noticed when I was looking at the dubs, because I had just like seen because it's like issue 8 was where you had Silver and Sonic investigating, and then after that it goes like straight into the 4-issue climactic battle for Angel Island, and it was like, okay, I wonder where the next dub is, but I know that the process is very, very long, and there's circumstances you can't really control. And so it was like when it all came out, it was just so worth it to see the full thing just, put together all nice and done. And I bet it feels really gratifying when you actually get the finished product out there.
Oh god, being able to do that and like also with the really fancy credits with the Mania music was super, super fun. It was
An
just
unexplainable feeling. Yeah,
it's still amazing to look back on it and just think like, wow, that was like just a huge video. It was like 30 minutes long and we got it done. It took us a long time. It would have gotten done faster if we had all the material we needed, but sadly, we had holdups that we couldn't control. But that's okay. That will hopefully not happen with future dubs and potentially future 4-parters. 4-parters are going to be exceedingly rare because it's not usually worth it, and very few arcs tend to work well as a 4-parter. So it's like, okay, well, what's the point? We were originally going to have issue 17 through issue 20 as a 4-parter, and then we ended up splitting it up just to get them out sooner. But there is a 4-parter coming up, so I mean, look forward to that.
Interesting. All right. Well, I think that's all the questions we've got for you guys for now, but we are going to go ahead and we're going to move into audience questions. Now, a little bit of ground rules to lay down before we get into this. Sydney, you want to talk about some of the ground rules?
Sure. So we can't advertise for any other fan projects while on the stage, but you can post about your projects in the self-promotion channel.
Yeah, and we also we can't have when you're coming up to ask a question. Please don't do it as an OC or an impression. Just we have a roleplay channel. If you feel free to roleplay in the roleplay channel, we have a dedicated VC and stuff for that. Yeah.
And we do have a suggestion channel for panel suggestions. So please, when you're on stage, don't suggest panels or ask to be on one.
Another important thing to do with this panel specifically, these guys do some amazing work, and it's not fair to ask a question saying, have you heard of such and such other dub team? This is about Adrenaline Dubs and the awesome work that they do, and we'd like to give them the full spotlight of what they do. So be sure to keep the focus on them and their work and not bring up any other potential dubs or potential other groups around. And another thing that I also really want to stress, we choose raised hands randomly so we can be fair to everyone. It's not us picking favorites or anything. We pick at random so that everyone has a fair chance to be selected. Please do not ping us, do not DM us, do not ask us over and over again to be picked. You will be skipped if that is the case because we want to be fair to everyone. And also for questions, be sure to keep things family friendly. We are a family friendly convention. We have so many people involved in here, and we want to keep things nice and simple. So, Sydney, I don't think I have any more. Do you?
Yeah, I think we're good. So let's choose our first person to ask a question.
Awesome. All right, you go ahead.
All right, let's do for Tara the rabbit.
Hello.
I didn't know I was I didn't know I was first.
No one ever-
We're
Welcome.
picking randomly.
Nice to meet you guys.
Howdy.
Right. Do you have
Nice
a
to meet you
question
too.
for our panelists
Hello.
here?
Got a question. So what's your favorite song at all times?
Favorite
what's their
Sonic song at
favorite-
all times? Oh god, that's a hard one. There's a lot of good ones. I think for me, I think Live and Learn is pretty legendary, but also really like City Escape. I don't know, that is a tough question. There's a lot of really, really good Sonic songs.
It's hard to pick just one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well,
I can pick one.
I'm sure Techno.
My favorite Sonic song is "What I'm Made Of."
Ooh, that's
It
That's a
always
really good one.
it always gets me so pumped whenever I hear it. I feel
Yeah.
so good listening to it.
That's fair enough. I think my favorite is probably Sonic Boom. I think that one's pretty unparalleled.
Sonic
for
Boom
me.
is great.
Yeah. Believe in yourself.
Mhm.
Techno, you're the music man. Come on, you gotta enlighten us.
Yeah.
I can't pick one. That's the trouble of it is
Top
I
three then.
have so many.
Sonic Advance 2 boss theme.
That's a good one. I was gonna say Sonic Heroes as one of my choices.
That's awesome.
There's just something high flying about it that's always stuck with me. If I had to pick, I mean, yes, if I had to pick one from the Advance series, it actually would not be the boss theme, the regular boss theme from Sonic 2. It would be the 7 boss theme.
Mm.
Nice.
The one with all the orchestra hits.
Interesting. Well, thank
Great
you for the
choices.
question, Miss Vertera, and you have
You're
a
welcome.
good evening.
Too. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bless.
All right, Kelp, it is your turn.
It is indeed my turn. You know what? I am going to go ahead and I'm gonna call on. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and call on Final Boss.
Hey.
Hello, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
My question was, how did you guys come up with the voices for your characters specifically? Because I know how all of you do amazing work on the dubs. Anything I say to compliment you probably has already been said before, so I just want to know how you come up with all these voices.
I guess I'll answer first.
Yeah, go for it.
The way I came up with my Sonic was originally it was just an impression of Jason Griffith, because that was the most familiar Sonic voice to me at the time. And so I just kind of originally started out as a joke, me kind of just making almost a parody of the way that the lines were delivered in specifically Sonic 06, because Jason Griffith is a really good voice actor, but his deliveries in Sonic 06 were very like I don't know how to say this. There's a weirdness to them. They're not bad. It's just like there's a specific weirdness to them that originally when I was doing my Sonic voice, it was for like a joke video, so I needed to like kind of parody that. And then eventually I just tried to make it more of an actual impression using the other material that he had done from like Sonic X and Black Knight. And so I just kind of turned it into that. And then at some point, some other project asked me to sound more like Ryan, so I incorporated elements of that into it. And eventually I just kind of I just molded it into something that sounded a lot more natural, because I was realizing that my weird combination of voices was a little hard to sustain. So I just ended up trying to do something more instinctual, something that just kind of channeled the spirit of the character and drew some influences, but wasn't like trying to impersonate a specific voice actor. So nowadays it's kind of refined into what people have described as like just all the modern Sonic voices thrown into a blender. As for Knuckles, I just that just started as me trying to imitate Dan Green, and it just kind of turned into what it was, where I got a little more modest with it when he wasn't shouting. As for Ruff, originally Ruff and Tumble for Adrenaline were going to be voiced by me and Trev, just doing impressions of Luigi and Mario respectively from Hotel Mario. And then they ended up turning into something a little different. And then eventually Cole got on board, and he gave us like a Tumble voice that we just couldn't resist bringing him onto the cast. His Tumble voice was fantastic. So that's how that ended up. But yeah, Ruff started out as Hotel Luigi. And you gotta help us. You can hear it. You can hear the DNA. And then from there, I just made it sound grosser and grosser as the dubs went on to distinguish it from my Sonic. And Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, so for Amy, I based it off of Lisa Ortiz's Amy, because that's personally my favorite take of Amy. And then like over the years, it's like evolved into like my own take. For Tails, I based it off of Colleen, and on our old Tails for Adrenaline dubs, because I personally liked how she voiced Tails. For Charmy, I want to say I did my own take for Charmy. But like I picked out the qualities that were common for like each voice actor had. Just like a kind of like scratchiness to his voice, like
like this.
And then for Cream, I just basically did just a high pitched voice, because she's a 6-year-old little girl. She's gonna have a high pitched voice. Yeah.
What about you, Tekka? What about your Omega?
I wanted to do John St. John's Omega Justice. That was my one and only inspiration for like not just the voice and the fluctuations of it, but the effects that I put on it as well.
Yeah, it's a very good Omega. And
I wanted to make sure that it was, the same kind of, it's a minor chord, if we want to get technical, that they were using to modulate the voice.
They gotta start calling you Technical Cinema now.
Oh, hush. But I didn't want to just make it, it's 3 voices, but I wanted to add a little bit of that kind of metallicness. But I didn't want it to be the overpowering 06 metallic kind of delay effect.
Yeah.
So there's a subtle bit of that in there. It's not always noticeable, but it's enough that it's kind of, I guess, modernized. I guess I don't know how to describe it.
Who was
I
that in?
get
Who was that in 06? Maddie Blaustein. I think
I'm
that's
not
who it
sure.
was. She was a legend, but the filter that the audio guys for those games threw on her was like really powerful.
Yes, yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
I
I
like
think I
Tex a
saw
lot.
I think I saw a video where someone like fixed the filter in Sonic 06 to make it sound more like akin to like was it like Sonic Heroes or something?
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah.
And well, Gerbil, I think all you voice is Knack. So do you have any comments regarding that?
I just wasn't satisfied with anyone's interpretation of Knack, so I did my own.
Yeah, just really, really weaselly, cartoony sounding Australian rat.
Australian.
Yeah, and
So
pretty
gerbil?
naturally.
I'm just kidding.
Shut up.
All right. Well, thank you for the question, final boss. You have a good evening.
You have a better one.
Well, thank you.
No, you.
No,
No
you.
you on me. Oh man. All right, Sydney, you want to go ahead?
Oh my goodness. Okay. I am going to not pronounce this correctly. Oh, Bois 2004. Come on up.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hello.
Your microphone working?
Is your mic working, buddy? Oh no.
It's not.
I think we might have our first one of the night, Sydney.
Discord, everyone.
Through the line, Discord, everyone.
Round of applause for Discord, everybody. Let's go.
Yes.
Woo! Discord.
It's okay. We can you can if you have to, you can type it and we can answer it that way.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and type your question, we can come back to it. But for now, we will move on to another audience member. But if you want to go ahead, just go ahead and type it. We will get back to it. Okay. Sydney, since that didn't work out well, you want to go for another one?
Sure, let's bring up Noah Yoshitails 13.
All right.
Howdy, Noah.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Noah.
Hey guys,
Ew.
how's it going?
It's going well.
Good.
you
Yeah.
doing?
I'm doing very swell.
It's good here.
So all right. So I pretty much have to ask a question. What are the future? Excuse me. What are the future issues you're looking forward to dub in the future? Like what you're excited for?
I'm
24.
personally I'm excited about editing the Chow Racers arc. It just seems
yeah.
so like lighthearted and fun, even though like we get to see like what Clutch is doing, which is like not okay, but at least like Amy and Cream and Rouge are like out there having fun together.
Yeah.
I am
Oh,
very excited for issue 24. I'm not editing that one, but very excited to see the reaction to it. The material for that one's been on the back burner for a long time. So, yeah, that's going to be it's going to be great to finally unveil. It is as intense as you're fearing. I'm also
People are
excited to
saying-
get to All or Nothing. Deadly Six in full swing. All their fantastic voices, and just the really awesome moments between the cast there, because there are an ungodly amount of characters in those issues too. Super excited to see the Babylon Rogues in full swing. Super excited to see Sonic and Silver's team up as well. For anybody who's only watching the comics through the dubs and doesn't know what happens, I won't really give away much more, but there's a lot of awesome moments coming up. Who else was
As a Silver VA, I can say I'm very excited to see how you guys handle it.
Besides the obvious, I'm actually really excited to score for the test run arc. That one I'm gonna have some fun.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Not just emotionally, but like with all the weird things that happen.
I'm quite excited for actually I don't know. Probably, it's definitely a tie between the Werehog stuff and the Sonic the Fighters Championship arc stuff for Archie. Probably the
Oh
Werehog
yeah,
stuff. Got a lot of really
yeah,
cool things I want to try out for the Werehog stuff.
yeah. That's gonna be exciting.
Well, thank you for the question, Noah. Always good to see you.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Looking forward.
Yee.
More to come. All right.
Thanks, Noah.
Yeah, thank you very
See
much.
ya.
Thanks.
Yeah, no
See ya.
problem. Bye.
All right.
Can I add to the
believe-
Werehog thing shortly?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, when I recorded for Archie, I recorded a bunch of the issues back in December before we had the cast finalized, and before we decided that we were going to have the cast different from the IDW one. So, I just wanted to bring this up. I had to record Werehog and Knuckles back to back. Well, I mean, I didn't have to, but I wanted to, and that was painful. That was really painful, but because of that, I have pretty much mastered the Werehog. It forced me to master the Werehog. It still hurts to do, but it's. I mean, I think you'll like how it ends up sounding, especially when Gerbil
you
gets to it.
recorded a bunch of them ahead of time, so you don't have to do them again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Done is
I mean,
done.
I might still re-record some of it, but I mean,
I'll let
you have
if
the
need
material
to
there.
record. Yeah.
All right, let's pick somebody else from the audience now.
All right. Actually, I have someone who wants to come up here. Kevin, why don't you come on up and ask a question?
Oh, nice. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
I knew someone was going to say that meme as soon as I came up here. They were very doubting.
I'm glad Lenny and I share a brain cell.
Oh my god.
I knew that was coming, but hi. So, first off, my compliments to you all on your work. You all do a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, my question is, was there any dub that really surprised you? Like, when the whole thing came out, like, whoa, I wasn't expecting it to be this good.
That's tough to
Is that a
say.
true comic?
Can I say one thing? I'm surprised one of our mini dubs is like blowing
Yes!
up right now.
That one popped off.
So many
Um,
views. Almost
Yeah,
120,000.
it's so for context, it's the one where Classic Sonic bites Classic Knuckles' hand. And like right now it has like over 100,000 views, which I'm surprised. I watched it climb like 30,000 views in a day.
The other morning it had 71,000, and now it has like
Yeah.
100. I don't know where that came
and like,
from.
and I mean, like that video alone, I think is bringing in a lot of subscribers for us, which I'm honestly blown away. But yeah,
You hurt my hand.
Yeah,
that was
the
completely
improv- that was
improvised.
great.
I
That was
didn't,
great.
because we don't usually do voice directing for our dubs. That was just out of the blue. I hadn't seen that video until it was out, and so when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, that like ending."
I had to keep it in. It was way too funny.
The power of improvising. But yeah, thank you guys for the answer.
No problem.
And then Oz's blooper at the end.
Oh yeah, this little eating the mic.
Issue 19, I think, really. Obviously, I wasn't there when it was like being. Well, I was there, but I wasn't like actively looking in the Discord, private Discord, when it was being made. So when I saw it uploaded, it felt like not like a swan song, but it was really well paced and edited throughout the entire thing, and it was more of like a testament to how far Landy has come with his like editing skills and stuff.
That one, I don't. I look at the editing in that, and I feel like it's almost a touch. Or no, it's 20 that I look at that I think is a touch mundane because it's just a slower issue overall. 19, I think I did pretty well, but I really have to hand it to Trev because a lot of people were fearing how Shadow was going to be portrayed because a lot of people don't like how Shadow's character was in that in issue 19. So. So when it came out, a lot of those people were really impressed. And I was too. Trev completely transformed what was just what seemed like Shadow being extremely out of character and just being a jerk for the sake of being a jerk. He transformed it into Shadow being actually like justifiably angry with Sonic and, being surprisingly rational given the way that the material had to be shaped in the original comic. So that was kind of the highlight of that issue for me, was Trev just being able to take what would otherwise be a kind of out of character interaction for Shadow and just turning into something where you sympathize with him.
Yeah, I would say it's interesting, like how when we dub these comics, I feel like we bring in like a whole nother level of like meaning to it. There's a whole another level of emotion, and you have a easier time understanding what exactly is happening.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt when I was dubbing them. I used to be a little bored by the Metal Virus and how long it was dragging on, but then like when I started actually dubbing it and putting it together, it gave me a newfound appreciation for it. I guess I'm just not a comic guy by trade, which is weird because that's literally like the thing that I mostly do on YouTube is comic dubbing. But I mean, I don't know. When it's hard for me personally. It might be the autism. It might be attention span. I just have a hard time getting really, really invested in comic books, which is partially why I made the dubs, because I did like the story that was there. I just felt like, well, all it is art and writing. There's only so much you can do, which that's not to knock like the comics themselves. They pull a lot of amazing legwork off for a medium that is literally just like a piece of paper with art.
Yeah.
They tell stories with just that art and text amazingly well. The art's the art's great. The writing itself is really good. Just it's great. But at the same time, just the way that my brain works, it is hard to get no matter what the comic is, it's hard for me to get enthralled. So dubbing it gave me a whole new level of appreciation for the stories, and I feel like a lot of people see it the same way, but at the end of the day, that is very much like we may have recorded and edited the material, but it is very much the IDW team that has put it to paper in the first place and created those stories. So I just have a whole level of appreciation for that alone. I can't give myself too much credit, or for that matter, the rest of the voice cast, even though they deserve plenty of credit for the amazing performances and just all the music and sound stuff. It's a very layered process is what I'm trying to say. And I'm glad that I can experience these stories in the way that we're dubbing them, because it just gives me a whole new level of appreciation for all the work that goes into these stories. And yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so
Where did Ryan go?
Oh,
There we go.
Oh,
I didn't mean to leave.
I do want to say, issue 19 was like scoring issue 19 was just like its own little ride. Starting off with this machine theme, and then going into some of my own Omega, riffs. On my own little Team Dark motif, which I teased probably halfway through. Just kind of, just taking us through old and new, kind of, I don't know what else to say about it.
I really like your Team Dark theme, but I think what absolutely floored me was that issue 20 starts out with that track, is it Omegeddon?
Yeah.
That track, it just sounds like a track from like Doom Eternal made its way into the dub, but it's not a track from Doom Eternal. It just is a original
it's the
song.
Same. It's one
really
of the riffs
good.
in Team Dark's theme.
Yeah. The way it's arranged is just like, it's insane. It's definitely a
Thank you.
highlight of the issues for me, is that theme. Especially in the moment, because Sonic's like getting work done. He's like kicking Shadow to the curb.
I've expressed a few times that I really love that
Savage.
remix of this machine. Like it's my like
You
guilty
have,
pleasure
and
song. It sounds so awesome.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And also, and as for reading the actual reading the comics, I found that it helps to have a reading buddy.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I haven't
someone to
tried that,
bounce
but I
off
can
of.
imagine that would. Yeah, exactly.
I do want to circle back because we did get the question from the person we tried to call up earlier. We got it in text. So from them, since you guys were good at producing the videos, have you seen any like zombie films that have tied into how you've gone about producing the Metal Virus Saga dubs?
That's an interesting. That's interesting because I had not seen any zombie films until after I had done the bulk of my work for the Metal Virus. Which sounds weird to say. Like most people can probably attest to having seen a zombie film in their lifetime, but before the Metal Virus, I hadn't. I didn't get into them because of the Metal Virus, but just circumstances. We watched a bunch of horror films last year's Halloween in my friend group, and some of them were I think it was Dawn of the Dead, and we watched Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, we
I believe
watched a
it
few,
was.
didn't we?
Oh yeah, we watched a good few, but I hadn't seen zombie films because when I was younger, I didn't like watching horror films, and as I grew older, I just never watched many films in the first place because theater trips were rare. But yeah, I can't attest to being inspired by any zombie films in particular. I just kind of go with my gut and what I have learned as far as assembling stuff like that. What, you run?
Yeah, I personally haven't really watched that many zombie movies because I'm not. I'm not an enjoyer of horror movies because I get scared way too easily. I only know like zombie stories from like Left 4 Dead or The Walking Dead, specifically the Tall Tales. I should probably take inspiration from those things and probably watch some zombie movies to get inspiration from those too and apply it to the Metal Virus.
Yeah, the only real zombie media I had taken in when I was making the Metal Virus was Left 4 Dead 2, and of course I didn't figure that would be the greatest thing to use as inspiration because Left 4 Dead 2 is a lot more arcadey, a lot less horror themed, which I think is good, but it's obviously not the tone we really wanted to go with the Metal Virus because the Metal Virus is much more looming. It's much more almost slow burn in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And Tech, sorry for kind of breaking you off there. What did you want to say?
No, you're fine. I resonate with all you guys, and just like I'm not as much of an enjoyer of zombie media. But the one big movie, surprisingly enough, was World War Z that I watched.
Oh yeah, I did
Ooh,
watch
yeah.
that.
That's the only one that I have any kind of recollection of. And other than that, the closest thing to a zombie media that I've consumed was that one arc at the beginning of Transformers Prime, where they're fighting zombie Decepticons.
Interesting.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, we did watch a bunch of psychological horrors last year, didn't we? We watched like the Babadook and
Yeah.
that other one, and I feel like those give you a good scope of how to treat a situation as dire as the metal virus. At least I think I would know what to do with the metal virus based on the movies that we watched and how to approach it. And I don't know if it's helped you figure out how to give delivery for some scenes or like how the editing should work in tandem with the emotional impact of those scenes. But
Well,
it's definitely helped
at the time we watched
inspired
those,
me.
I hadn't been editing for the series anymore. It might help with the
that's
upcoming
right.
stuff.
That
Though.
was a while ago, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was an interesting question.
Mhm.
Sydney, you want to go ahead and ask the next person or call up the next person?
Sure thing. Let's call in the Hollow.
Okay. Hello,
Howdy.
Colin.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Is your mic working?
Uh-oh.
We got another one.
Like this. Oh boy. Discord, everyone.
Discord, everyone.
Try it. Let's try it again.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Try this again. Let's see if this works.
Hello.
Howdy.
There we
we
go.
are.
Yay.
Sorry about that.
No, you're all good.
Problem.
Oh, I've completely forgot my question now.
Oh,
That's
we can
um,
give you a moment to remember.
Oh yeah, now I remember. My personal favorite dub you did was of the anniversary comic, and I was wondering
All right,
what
I'm
was
gonna be
what.
right back
Oh, okay, that's fine. I was
because I wasn't
wondering.
a part of this.
Oh, okay. No, you can stay. It has nothing to do with it.
I'm joking, of course. Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
fair. I was wondering what's your favorite dubs you've done so far?
To differentiate it from the other thing that was asked regarding this, I think issue 7 is one of my favorites because that was, I think, the only dub we did where we did a live, we recorded live, because usually we get we don't do like live recordings, we just kind of record all in separated, just like in a vacuum. It's weird. It's probably hard to tell because there's a lot of like conversational bits that play out extremely naturally. Like the recent dub, all the banter between Eggman, Starline, and Sonic was really, really impressively delivered. Everybody feels like they're bouncing off of each other when they're not. They're all recording in isolation. But issue 7, Trev and I actually did live record that together just to because we just wanted to try it. We wanted to really sell that rivalry between Sonic and Neo. And we haven't done it again simply because it's just hard to organize. And, you know, the payoff wasn't too major. It worked, but it probably would have worked just fine if we recorded in isolation too. Either way, I mean, it was a fun experience. So that dub is definitely one of my favorites for that reason. Just that whole experience of editing it. And then Gerbil, I guess you can talk about whatever your favorite dubs are.
Is it,
You should talk about the 30th anniversary one in the
I
process.
was about to say, is it like presumptuous to say that my favorite is one of my own that I've done, or is like
I think that's fair. I mean, issue 7 is my own, so.
Fair enough. Yeah, the 30th anniversary dub is the one that I did, and that one's definitely my favorite. It was basically like because you know I'm a little bit, Landy will tell you, and others will. I'm quite a big fan of the classic universe and how it's represented, and I'm a big fan of the Sonic OVA and games like Sonic CD, and I really wanted to capture like a almost like a canceled Toei Sonic cartoon with the voice direction and the voice cast, and we even for authentic reasons we even had some of the voice actors like screw up their lines a little bit to give that typical Western like dub feel, and it was really good. I put a lot of effort into the sound design to make it feel like it was like a shonen anime. I went all out with the graphic design. I made like Sonic the Fighter's health bars for the fights.
Oh god, the health bars, those are so cool.
Oh, I remember.
Landy made a really friggin' awesome ring splash screen that I'm absolutely going to use more of. Yeah, there was just so much effort. The music choice, that one it didn't have an original soundtrack, so I wanted to use very specific music for it.
Wah.
Tech was busy at the time, and so I went off and did that, and yeah, I don't regret a single thing about it. I really loved the entire thing. I think I deserve to give myself a pat on the back for that dub. It took me a while to do it.
Oh man,
yeah.
Just one-manning that whole thing. I could imagine. Early on, I used to do most of the sound design for the IDW dubs, and Dylan would just do extra sounds. Now he takes over for the main sound pass, and then we brought on Oz for sound design, and so I don't really add sound effects anymore, which is fine. It saves me a lot of work. But Gerbil's still doing it pretty much all by himself, so.
Man, I can only imagine.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
My favorite issue that I worked on was issue 23 because there was a lot of great moments in that issue, like with the banter with Eggman and Starline. That was like my favorite. Just putting that all together and just all the scenes with Eggman and Starline. But I also liked editing it because it was the most simple. All the panels were just rectangles and squares. Nothing overlapped with each other. But my favorite issue that I've dubbed, I would say issue 13. Voicing Tails for that. I just really enjoyed the banter that Sonic and Tails had in that, and I felt like that was like really natural.
Yeah. Like I said, it came out incredible considering it was everybody's material was recorded in isolation.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the question, Colin.
You're welcome.
Actually,
Thanks for having me.
I think Tech should be able to offer some input as well, because
yeah.
he does the
Oh,
music.
sure.
What was your favorite issue to score, Tech?
I would have to say either 22 or Tangle and Whisper 3.
Oh yeah, Tangle Whisper 3's soundtrack is amazing. I mean, that whole soundtrack is amazing, but issue 3 was very, very potent.
Just like getting to use and then exercise the Diamond Cutters motif, and then wrangle that back toward giving Whisper her full motif, her full theme. And then through that, further developing Mimic's theme as well, kind of weaving all of those into the score. And then the payoff at the end was having, at the end of issue 4, having the credits theme that was had the guitar solo in it.
Yeah, that was sick. That was really fun to do the credits editing for.
Completely not a real guitar, by the way.
Yeah. I could tell just because I've heard so many real and fake guitars, but I mean, it was I was really close to asking who you got for it. But then I heard some of the slight discrepancies, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a fake guitar. My quest to find a guitarist is on hold still. But yeah, it was great. It was really, really, really good. Yeah, for those who don't already know, I don't edit full videos anymore, aside from an upcoming 4-parter. But I do edit all of the credits, and I make their backgrounds. And I made the background for Gerbil's Archie dubs, but I don't do the credits themselves. He just kind of uses my background. I do a ton of those like credits backgrounds and stuff, and like visual effects. I do most of those in Unity. I'm gonna leave it at that unless somebody wants to like pry a little more and get a fuller response about that. But yeah, I'm still doing some light editing, so don't worry, I'm not completely gone.
Can we talk yet about generating trains?
I think that'll just be its own video on the Twitter after that particular credits background is revealed. It is
anything yet. Yeah.
I've been having
the absolute
having
craziest credits background that I have ever worked on. That's all I'm going to say.
Way too much fun memeing that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Anyway, thank you for the question, Colin.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
And you have a good
Bye.
day.
Yeah, have a good one, bro.
I will ask the next question, and this comes in from my good buddy and rival himself, the ultimate voice actor. To the cast, what is the funniest moment you guys had during your time together as Adrenaline Dubs?
Oh, funniest moment.
Wow.
I think everything within the April Fool's video that we did last year.
Yes!
Oh my god, the April Fool's video. Some people thought that we actually legitimately got like hate on that particular issue, and that we were legitimately redubbing it. I had to clarify that no, it was an April Fool's dub. We had a lot of fun doing that. For those of you who don't know, for April Fool's last year, we did a redub of issue 12, and we just spun a wheel. We held a call, and then we spun a wheel to see who would voice who, and it turned out quite fun.
Rouge.
Yeah.
And you were great, Rouge.
And we did it live too. So like we just kind of we did one take, and that was pretty much it. I think my favorite part is the fact that Oz, when he talks, he just sounds like Sonic. So he had to compensate for that. He actually had to just act poorly, because he's a pretty good voice actor, and again, he just sounds like Sonic when he talks. So he had to act poorly specifically for that dub to offset the fact that if he were to just use his regular voice, he'd sound fine.
Well, he just woke up.
That's right. He had just woken up too.
Yeah,
Who was Rouge in the April Fool's dub? That was Tech.
Oh man.
I'd like to do a lot more live dubs, like live joke dubs. That'd be pretty fun.
If there's anything,
I wish
to
we
be
did
proud
that
of,
for I wish we did that for another April Fool's video.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sure which issue we would do, because I specifically chose issue 12 because there were so many characters in it. So then we could bring in a lot of people into the voice call for it.
In terms of someone who just like watched the dub, when I first saw that you guys had posted like the redub, I was like, what's this? And I checked it out, and I didn't even at first think of the date, and then I listened to it, and I'm like, oh, I see what they did here. And I was sitting there watching the dub, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny.
I especially liked the fake commenters that I made, which I guess a lot of people thought were real, but no, they were fake. I just edited them with like the default font in Paint.net. I think my favorite name was the very last comment, which was the guy with the Mario Sunshine, Mario with a pineapple head. And I put the name Pineapple's Good and then some numbers. I forget what it was. I was really proud of that one.
The sizzle reel of all the comments was really funny.
Yeah.
The Ultimate had a follow-up question: who was Rouge in the April Fool's dub? If there's anything, like I mean, I did I may have done, the choosing of the music for the April Fool's dub, but if there's anything that I'm proud of, it's my Rouge.
Yeah, it's not too bad considering your vocal range. It's pretty impressive.
I know Oz was like taken aback from it.
Yeah, he was like,
I just imagine you were all like sitting in a call, and then when someone just does this voice, you don't expect, just like you just crack up laughing.
I was really looking forward to Dr. Bean's Tangle because it is absolutely not in his range, and then he did it, and it was just, oh my god,
it was
hilarious.
Perfect. I have absolutely
Oh man,
Tangle, you have to show me
the little maniacal laughs he gave her. Just.
No way he voiced Tangle. What?
Oh man.
Yeah, he voiced Tangle for the 12 redub we did.
Oh.
And it sounds pretty funny. It's very visibly not meant to be like a good sounding Tangle. I think Dr. Bean is in the audience.
He is.
Hello,
Hi,
Dr. Bean.
Bean.
Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you for the question, Ultimate. Those are always fun to talk about. Those are fun stories to talk about. Sydney, you want to go ahead and call on our next person?
All right, let's do Cheesy Wheezy.
I like that name.
I do too.
That's a good name.
Oh crap! It's me.
Hello.
Howdy, Cheesy.
Why, hello.
Alrighty. My question was in regards to do you guys have a favorite? I guess, do you have a favorite voice within your own cast? Like anyone else that does the cast, do you have a favorite voice? I suppose.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't really like to pick favorites, but I was very impressed by. I've always been impressed by Wolfblade's Starline, and I mean that seems to be a fan favorite. So I mean,
Man,
I guess
it's
it's no
so
surprise
good.
that I'm really impressed by it too. But yeah, I would say that if I had to pick a favorite, like if you held me at gunpoint or something, because I don't like to pick favorites, then it would probably be Wolfblade. Wolfblade is exceptionally talented, and when I asked him to do Starline, he pretty much gave me exactly what I was looking for on the first recording. I don't think I gave him any particular direction with it, aside from maybe the accent. I don't remember if I told him about the accent or not, but he just kind of looked at the character and he was like, "Okay, I'll do something," and he recorded it, and it's like amazing. It's great. Honestly, that's been the case for all of the new character actors. In terms of like Tangle is more or less just RJ Pebble's regular voice, so there wasn't much there, but that's fine. That worked perfectly fine. With Whisper, we were originally going to cast H-Dubs, but she had to take a leave, and we brought on Skrillo to pick up the pieces and just kind of go for a similar vibe. The original vibe that I directed H-Dubs for was just a British, modest, whispery girl. And so Skrillo came in and just did that too. And then for the Diamond Cutters, I kind of wanted to match the fact that Whisper has like a British accent and get like, accents from that kind of region. So I ended up getting Bean because, he's a black guy in Britain, and he's got a very, very specific like voice because of that mix of cultures. So we brought him on for Smithy because I was like, oh god, how am I going to cast Smithy? And then I heard Bean's voice and I was like, that's exactly what I'm looking for. For what's his name, Slinger. For Slinger, I was thinking of somebody who sounded Irish, but we didn't really have anybody who could sound like, who was a voice actor who could sound convincingly Irish. So instead I think we settled on Welsh for the guy that we got, Neox, I believe is what he goes by.
Can I tell a little story?
Oh, sure.
We thought about maybe asking Jacksepticeye.
Yeah.
What?
I was like, wouldn't that be funny if we just got him? But I don't remember if we contacted him or not. I don't think we were able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never really made contact, unfortunately. So instead, we just got in contact with a friend of Skrillo's, and he tried Welsh because he couldn't really do Irish all that well, which is totally fine. It's really not easy to do. But yeah, we landed on Welsh, and I really liked what he did. As for Claire was just an artist friend of ours who was doing some stuff for us in our other projects and also sometimes for AD. And they're Scottish, and they just sound like a small Scottish girl. So I was like, okay, well, your voice sounds pretty good. And they're not a voice actor. It's hard to tell because Claire doesn't say a whole lot, but yeah, they're not regularly a voice actor, but we got them anyway because I just liked their voice. And so I had them record and got the material, and it worked pretty well. Although the original takes of the Mimic Where Are You did need retakes, but I mean, that's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with somebody who's not really traditionally a voice actor, so totally fine.
I pointed that out, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the Diamond Cutters are some of my favorite voices too, just because I really wanted to take an opportunity to introduce accents and just vocal patterns and stuff that you wouldn't hear in the mainline series, because usually they just get somebody who just has an American accent in the English casts. Oh, I'm getting a message on Telegram that's gonna pop up in my recording. I gotta quit that. But yeah, like I just wanted to kind of use the fact that we're unofficial and the fact that we've got just connections to people who aren't specifically like part of a certain like talent agency, and the fact that we can go really outside the bounds with who we cast and the kind of voices we need. I just want to use that to an advantage and just cast voices that you wouldn't really hear in the mainline games. So you got a lot of people from, you got a lot of voices that sound like they come from that sort of UK general region for the Diamond Cutters. Very, very fun.
I liked all of their voices. I was like, I can see all of these fitting. Yeah, I was very
What about you, Gerbil?
Uh,
Who's your favorite voice
well,
actor?
There's a lot. I really, really, really love Ryan's Amy. I really like
Thank
Joe's
you.
Eggman. I really like Joe's Eggman a lot. It's so good. Like,
Oh yeah, Lord
but
Ribbit. He's the Archie Eggman.
my favorite voice right now. I'm not going to reveal who it is, but it's our voice for Surge, and it is phenomenal.
Oh god,
It is absolutely
Surgeon Kit.
insane.
We have the casting for Surgeon Kit, and they do just a perfect job.
It is oh my god.
I knew exactly who to get for them, and they have gone above and beyond.
They're
for those.
incredible.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Exciting.
Clutch's voice is also really good.
Mm-hmm.
Me-Tunes is a Heavy King as well. I really, really loved his like Clancy Brown style take.
Oh yeah,
I was so pleased with his take on Heavy King. It was perfect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, MeTunes is down in the audience right now.
Somebody in the
Hey,
chat.
MeTunes!
Let me real quick just respond to this thing in the chat. Somebody says, I want to animate the IDW series with these voices, but I don't want to get yelled at. You can absolutely do that. Don't worry. As long as you give us credit, that's all cool. And that goes for anybody who feels like animating our dubs. You can go ahead and do it as long as you give proper credit. And, it's not required, but let us know, let us know when it goes up. And we can plug it on our socials if you want.
I for one have been sort of lobbying to see these Zeta Adrenaline Dub stuff animated.
They sound like something that would come out of a Saturday morning cartoon that I just randomly
Yeah.
watch. If somebody does do it, I would be very happy, honestly.
Yeah, there's been a few people coming up asking if they can animate them. I don't really know how their versions are going, but hopefully they can make it work. And if they don't, if they've dropped it, then that's cool too. Move on to like bigger, better things that you can make money off of if you need to. The animation is like tough stuff, so don't ever feel pressured to animate our dubs or anything. Just do it because you love it.
Yeah.
You contact us about these animations, and we'll probably help you out.
Absolutely.
Honestly, it would be really cool if somebody decided to make a big collaborative project and make it a whole thing or something.
I thought about
cool. That would be cool.
I had an idea of maybe doing like setting up a multi-animator project with possibly a Battle for Angel Island.
That would be crazy.
Because I figured that would be really cool.
That'd be awesome.
But Tech, who's your favorite voice actor?
It's hard to pick one, like as usual, but like I will say there's a bit of bias behind this, but and all the mad props out to RJ Pebbles when she was Tangle, but I think our new Tangle actress Rio is doing really well for the character.
Yeah. RJ's another case of somebody who isn't traditionally a voice actor. Isn't she a choir singer?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She didn't really have acting experience, so it was, it took a lot of voice direction to get what we wanted, which was okay. The only reason she ended up being replaced was not because of skill, but because she kept having to move from place to place, and it ended up getting difficult to get audio out of her, especially high quality audio. For the last few issues of Tangle and Whisper, we had to get an audio professional to actually revive the audio quality, and that wasn't really something that we wanted to deal with. And
I suppose
RJ was just in general going to be a lot less available, so we had to just we were faced with a choice, and it was like we either stagnate these dubs or we just recast Tangle, and we went with recast Tangle. Of course, we couldn't do that without giving a huge thanks to RJ for her work.
Of course.
Before the sign off.
Going back to what you were saying about the variety of voice actors, Rio's British, and that's the fact that she can do she does other voices too, but the fact that she can do such a variety of voices, is like at her age is spectacular.
Very impressive.
It's very impressive, yes.
Rio's
of course, we don't pick favorites, obviously. But we
okay, Gerbil.
Great voice actress, and I know myself and some of us here at Revo who are friends with Rio. When we saw that she was announced in the cast of Adrenaline, we were really excited about it because she's such a cool person. Yeah.
Rio is incredible.
For the question, Cheesy Wheezy. I love that name.
Wait, I still need to answer.
Oh, did you?
Wait, that's
okay.
Wait, you still haven't answered. Yeah, skip over me, why don't you? No.
You answered in the conversation.
Just like the others, I can't really pick my favorite because everyone on the team is amazing, but I think one obvious answer is Wolfblade's Starline is just absolutely my favorite. Just hearing him, he also does a really good job of voicing Dawn from the Darkest Hour annual dub.
Oh yeah, you would hardly be able to tell that it was the same voice actor. It's like two completely Don the Rooster, just two completely different ends of his vocal range.
Yeah. Oh. And then I really love Hyper as a rotor for Archie.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like that's like absolutely fitting for that character.
Just rotor in real life.
Hyper is rotor and Zavok.
And I like Landy's rough. It's just gross sounding.
I don't get it very often.
I'm like a Brooklyn Mafia boss or something. I don't even know.
But yeah, I'd say those are my favorites. So.
Very nice.
All right.
Well, thank you for the question, Cheesy.
Yes,
no problem.
You have a good
keep
evening.
up the good work. Thank you.
Man.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a good day.
All right.
All right, Kelp?
Yeah. Yeah, what's up?
Oh, it's your turn.
Oh, it is my turn. Okay. Yeah, that's right. You invited up Cheesy Wheezy. I am gonna invite up. I'm gonna go with Off.
What was that video that someone just posted?
Yeah, I was wondering if that was too.
I don't know.
Howdy, Off.
Hello, welcome.
Howdy. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so my question, considering that y'all are doing a fan dub of comics with original characters that have never been voiced in any particular show, cartoon, or anything like that, do y'all have any kind of like contingency plan or possibly like concerns if these characters ever were to appear in an official game or something and they were voiced, if their official voice cast like differed greatly from what y'all use? Is that anything y'all ever like considered or worried about, or does that play any role in how y'all pick voices for these officially unvoiced characters?
I can't say that I've ever accounted for that or planned anything. I mean, if Starline ended up like for instance, like Starline, if he ended up sounding completely different from the way that we portray him, we would, I think, keep his voice pretty much the same. I would leave it personally up to the actor, because I would not. The last thing I would do is recast. That would just not be fair. But I try to leave it up to the actor. I would leave it up to the actor in that case. Like if if Wolfblade wanted to sound more like what would be an official Starline if he ever appeared in media, then, that'd be cool. But if he wanted to do what he was doing, then that's okay too. And, the cast that we have already differs quite a bit from the official voice actors. Vector's got more of an accent. His voice is higher. Sonic doesn't sound like anything like Roger. He sounds more like a blend of Ryan and Jason, is what the general consensus is. Certain other characters, like the Babylon Rogues, sound spot on. Amy sounds pretty spot on. Tails is a bit of an interpretation. But, the point is that those differences, people have been fine with them. And I don't expect that to change if, say, like Tangler, Whisperer, Starline get official voice actors that differ from the Adrenaline Dubs cast. But again, it's not entirely my decision. I would leave it up to the actors who voice those characters to do whatever they feel is necessary. I think that it's more about the portrayal than sounding too spot on to the character. The Deadly Six sounds spot on because I just wanted the Deadly Six to sound like the Deadly Six because they've only really had one specific voice. I feel like it's a little more malleable with characters like Sonic or Tails or Shadow, though. And of course, the new characters.
Personally, I would rather you, sound like the character rather than sound like someone voicing the character.
Yeah.
And you do that really well.
I think what we do with the voice casting itself is we don't necessarily choose voices that are accurate to the games, but more so fitting for the characters and the way they're portrayed in the comics. So it's more so our own interpretation. Otherwise, we just look for impressionists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can understand that. Yeah. Ryan, did you have any comment?
No, I agree with what everyone said because, it's just nice to see different interpretations for the characters, and it's nice to see someone voicing a character without it being an impression, because
Exactly.
I wouldn't say that my Amy is exactly how Lisa Ortiz does it. There's obvious differences. It's it started off as an impression, but I was slowly able to make it into my own voice,
Yeah, I understand how that.
I guess Off bailed. Thanks for the question, Off. Have a good day.
Thank you for the question, Off.
Another comment I'd add is
cool.
Yeah, it's more about channeling the energy of the character.
Yeah.
My friend Oz, he does a really good Sonic, but it's all good. He does a really good Sonic, but he doesn't sound like any existing Sonic actor. He just kind of sounds like a Sonic, and I think that's great. He's one of the best, fan Sonic voices I've heard. Yeah, doubly so because it's just mostly a more energetic version of his regular voice.
We talk about Oz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my favorite classic Sonic voice ever.
Yeah. Same with I guess another example would be Blake Swift. I think he's in a few Mashed videos. He doesn't sound like any particular existing Sonic actor, but he still sounds like a very good Sonic. And that's just, there's a lot of fan voice actors who can pull that off. People are even doing it with Starline. There's plenty of amazing Starline takes on Starline's character who sound completely different. I guess you could say the same for Tangle and Whisper and others, but people tend to have very similar ideas for those character voices. So it's hard to say they sound completely different, but they're all good because a lot of them sound pretty similar. But with Starline, I noticed there's the most diversity in voices because there's a lot of people who go for a deeper take, and I think that's cool. It's really just it's a matter of interpretation, and if people have different interpretations, I think that's awesome. And if the official interpretation is different, then that's totally fine too. Again, I'll leave that up to our actors to decide if they want to lean more on the official voice or just keep doing what they're doing. I think either way works great. God knows my Sonic has changed a lot, and I'm not even basing it off of anything or I'm just trying to improve it. But my Sonic has changed a lot. If you look at issue 1 to issue 23, there's just a lot of difference. But nobody's minded that.
I
And with
certainly don't.
Vector, he just randomly got more of a New York type of accent because just one day for issue 17, Trev felt like doing that, and people liked it. They were fine with it. It wasn't like weirding anybody out. So we'll just go with the flow, see what the actors want to do with their takes if their characters appear in the games and have voices that are a little different.
Yeah.
The character comes first.
Exactly. Well,
Yep.
no, the actor comes first, then the character.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, you want to get.
It's really just it's about making the actor feel like feel comfortable in their role.
Yeah, and you having the confidence in the actor is a big thing in terms of like showing the actor specifically, like hey, just because such and such character got an official voice, that doesn't mean like oh yeah, you immediately have to do this. It's always good to have those unique portrayals. I personally I love what you guys do, and like with say Dr. Starline, if they were to cast like an official Dr. Starline from like Sega, if he were to appear in a game and it didn't sound like any Starline that is commonly seen in like fan dubs, even so, I think it's important that like there are those different portrayals and stuff. It's always fun.
Yeah. Another thing is our Eggman doesn't really sound much like Mike Pollock, but he's still a really good sounding Eggman. The reason we picked him was because I needed we were originally going to have Joe, who ended up voicing Eggman for Archie. We were originally going to have him, but he wasn't available at the time, so I just dug around casting call, and Josh was the voice that I at the time liked the most. There's people like Boyle voices who do like spot on Mike Pollock's, and I probably would have picked him if I didn't pick Josh, but for the time being, I just picked Josh, and he does a great job with the character, even though he doesn't sound much like Mike, and that's okay. It's a great sounding Eggman. Same with Hyper. He doesn't sound too much like Mike, but he just sounds like a really good Eggman.
The one we have for Archie, there's one really, really funny line delivery that's coming up that I really loved. So,
which one was that?
Do you want me to say it, or do you want me to say the issue?
You could just say what it was.
It's where he goes, "Stop putting holes in my plane."
Oh yeah, that one was great. Yeah, Joe's great Eggman. The only problem we had with Joe was for the issue where he says what is it? Bossy ball, botch ball,
bocce
ball. Yeah, he misread it, and we needed a retake, but he wasn't available for a retake, so we just kind of had to go with bounce ball. So sometimes you end up with situations like that, but I mean, it's not like awful.
Parabola.
Parabola. That's a pretty rough one too, but I understand.
Getting that fixed.
In all honesty, I had never heard parabola like spoken. So like when I first heard parabola in Josh's first issue, I didn't notice anything wrong with it. I probably should have, but I mean, I hadn't heard that word spoken before that. So
I always make sure to learn how a word is pronounced if I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't my line, so like I didn't really feel like it was my responsibility.
Regardless, I still look up the word. I'm like, okay, did they actually pronounce it right? Or
nowadays I do. Yeah, sometimes you'll have little hiccups like that, but I mean, thankfully it doesn't tend to detract from the dub unless it's like and if it's like a really, really bad take, then you didn't hear it because we had it retaken.
Yep.
Well, thank you for the question off. That was a great question.
Yeah.
Sydney, I believe it is your turn to pick the next question.
All right, let's bring up William Jurassic Era.
Right. Hello.
Howdy, Will.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Have another mic issue?
Oh.
Wait.
Hello.
It's like other mic issues.
I see the green circle. I'm not hearing anything though. Hang on. We'll try this again. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna try this again.
Let's
see if this
channel the ancient summoning ritual.
Did it work? Hello? Uh,
Discord, everybody.
Yeah, Discord.
Do-do-do-do.
If
Do-do-do-do.
you want to go ahead and ask your question in the text chat, we will come back to it. I think we'll come back to it. So just feel free to ask in the text chat. Sorry, Discord tends to do this to all of us sometimes. But yes, so sorry about that, but we will move on. Sydney, you want to pick someone else?
Okay. Hopefully my lucky streak will. I keep picking all the Discord issues. Let's I think I'm not gonna say this right. Poc? Let's give them a go.
Howdy.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
There we go.
Hey.
A working
Fuck. It's a dumb name. Yeah. Yeah. The question is basic. What's your guys' favorite artist for IDW?
That's a tough pick. I have a soft spot for Yardley, but Adam Bryce Thomas is also really, really good. I don't know. I kind of love them all. I don't think there's really been an IDW issue with particularly bad art, but I do think there are certain artists who, since they've had just crazy amounts of experience with drawing Sonic, that their styles are so iconic and refined, like Tracy Yardley and like Evan Stanley.
Did Yardley do the anniversary dub? The anniversary comic? My bad.
I forget who did.
He did like 2 pages, I think.
A few. That had a few artists.
Yeah. Probably Adam Bryce Thomas then, yeah. His stuff is really good.
Adam Bryce Thomas's like recent Sonic art is absolutely insane. Like he did some stuff for Archie, I know, and that stuff was pretty good. Early on in IDW, like issue 7 looks a tad weird just because like the shading style is so wildly different from the other issues, but now it's really, really now that I feel like all the artists have found their footing and adapted to the coloring style, it all looks pretty good. And Adam Bryce Thomas's stuff leaves it's just very impressive.
I really like Evan's art. It's really good. Ooh, sorry. Tech. Who's your
Evan Stanley. And Adam Bryce Thomas as well. But Evan Stanley primarily.
Yeah.
Oops, that's making noise.
I really have no comment other than that. I just
That's completely fair.
Is that all the answers?
I think is it all the answers? Did everyone get a chance to
I don't
go?
know. Is it?
Yeah.
Verbal didn't, I said, or did he? No, yeah, he did.
I said
He did.
Adam Bryce Thomas, yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Well, thank you for the question, Pro Epoch.
Yeah, thanks, man. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think Sydney, I think we can surprise the audience a little bit.
I think we can.
So, it's looking like we're getting very close to that 10 o'clock original deadline for this panel. And I don't think we'll be able to ask too many questions if we keep that timeline. So, we've decided to extend this panel by an extra 30 minutes to hopefully get some more questions.
Woohoo!
So, the new end time will be 10:30 EST. And
Very nice.
also, on top of that, we did get our question from William, and it was to each of you. Out of the IDW characters, which ones are your favorites?
I gotta say, Whisper is my personal favorite, just because her whole backstory and I don't know. Whisper is a dense character. She's got a lot going for her. I think just Tangle and Whisper in general are pretty cool. Tangle only slightly less so because like she doesn't have as much depth, and I think that's fine. But I don't know. I like what they've done with Whisper. Just her story has a lot of weight to it. And I think her interactions with Tangle and just sort of getting things off of her chest in Tangle and Whisper was really impactful. Aside from that, I think Clutch is a really fun design, and I'm sad that he's kind of underutilized in the comics because he kind of appeared and then he was beaten up and then we haven't really seen anything from him. A little bit of lost potential there, but hopefully they bring him back and do some more fun stuff with him. Mimic's also really cool. Mimic's very fun. Mimic was really fun to cast because he had to do a lot of different... James, he voices Silver, but he also voices Mimic. He had to do a lot of different accents for the role. And he's not very good at accents. He admits to this. He's not that great at accents unless he's like mimicking something. So you know what? It was very tough because we had to get all the material first so that he could speak it and get the accent close enough and also get the timing right. Mimic as a character is really cool, but I think what we did with him in Adrenaline Dubs is even cooler. Just having his voice merged with the voice of the person that he's disguised as. That was really fun. What about you, Gerbil?
That's a really good question. There's a lot of really cool characters, but there's also a few characters I'm not really a fan of. I'm not that much of a fan of Whisper. I don't really like I don't know if you consider Lanolin a reoccurring character, but I suppose she is. Not that big on Clutch, but I really do love Surgeon Kit. I think they're very, very, very well thought out and planned designs. I think
Surgeon
it's
Kit are great.
incredible how much thought went into them. I love Tangle too, but Surgeon Kit, I just love the thought that went into them and their color scheme, and it's just such an awesome concept. And their designs are just like they scream like just attitude, and I love it. I love everything about them.
Yeah.
Well thought out personalities too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did I forget Starline? Starline is probably my absolute favorite character. Really, really fun villain.
I think same, honestly.
I actually have a friend of mine to thank for the leitmotif for Dr. Starline. She's already an amazing, like, aspiring composer, and I wanted to give her theme up some time in the spotlight.
It is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Starline's an absolutely phenomenal character. It's really cool to see him go through the motions. Just getting looking up to Eggman, realizing he's not all that, getting betrayed, and then trying to be better than Eggman, while also struggling with falling into some of the same pitfalls because he's a little in over his head sometimes. He gets a little crazy. You can see that pretty clearly in Imposter Syndrome. But yeah, it's really fun character to watch develop and separate himself from... I think the coolest thing about the IDW characters is that they are allowed to develop. The the regular Sonic characters, they don't really get a whole lot of development throughout the comics, but all the IDW characters are developing and growing, and that's really cool to see. And I think Starline's an absolutely phenomenal example of that.
Yeah, Starline is my favorite IDW character. Yeah, just the way he's been developed so far, and like I'm starting to get scared of him because of the preview of issue 3 of Imposter Syndrome. Like I am not ready for that issue to come out.
I don't know if anyone is. But yes, thank you for the question, William. Did everyone answer that? Did we get everyone?
I believe so. Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know if Tech. Did you already respond with your favorite characters from IDW?
Hang on, whisper.
Okay.
I'm multitasking at the moment, so I might not be too.
It's all good.
Talkative.
No, that's all fine. I think Sydney, you want to call on someone next?
Yes, I have one from Angie. So, what was the most fun and challenging part about dubbing comics?
I think I've kind of already answered that in terms of which issues I liked dubbing the most and which ones I like the most in hindsight. But as far as the fun parts, I really think that voicing and collecting everybody's lines, figuring out which takes. Oh God, there's so many good takes. Sometimes I combine them. I mask it really well, but sometimes I merge takes because I like aspects from certain takes better than other takes. Just hearing everybody's performances and different takes on the lines, and there's always so many good takes to pick from. That's a really fun part of the process because there's me voicing, and then I'm usually the first to get my work done. So just hearing, coming up to the voice actors and being like, hey, can I get these lines for this issue? And they're like, sure. And they send it to me. It's like, oh boy, I can't wait to hear everybody's lines and assemble them. It's always a joy. Always a joy. The editing part is pretty fun too. Just figuring, it's always like a challenge, figuring out how to crop the panels properly and how to make them move in a way that's not too distracting, but also conveys the motion from the panel.
I know my friend Ryan here hates those screen shakes that they have to do.
Yeah, it's a tough art to master. The reason I do screen shakes so well is because of that background in YouTube poop. I did a lot of screen shakes for things back in the day, so I've just kind of mastered it at this point. You got to really give it a sense of weight and a sense of momentum. Make it like gradually slow down and get less and less intense. I have a whole process for doing it. Maybe I'll go over in a video because I notice there are some editors that struggle with it, and I get it. It is so tough to get the right balance, but it's just become second nature to me because I do it so often. So
yeah, I want to say
it.
I was really impressed of how you did the screen shakes when Tumble was like hitting that building in like issue 13.
That one was really fun. A lot of people like I remember like I edited that. And it was just all, I didn't really realize how impactful it was until I had watched the video back, and I was like, holy crap. Like, there's so much like power to it. You can just feel exactly when Tumble is just swinging his stuff.
Yeah, just like winding back and then hitting it. It's like,
yeah.
It was, of course, I gotta give a lot of credit to Cole for his performance because that's what gave me most of the idea, and also it was the timing reference. That was a lot of fun to edit, and I realize not everybody's just kind of able to do that because it's really, really hard. So maybe I'll go over how I tackle those things in the future just to give editors some help. I know Ryan still needs a good amount of help with that. I've had to come in though. Yeah, you're getting better.
Interested in learning your process because like I do editing work from like my current internship and stuff, and so I'm constantly learning new things, and like just watching videos and seeing edits like yours on this kind of stuff it's also very helpful for like, you know, oh, I can learn some tricks of the trade from that as well, just seeing how other people do edits of certain things. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's great. And hopefully, you know, I'll be a little more open about my process. On the Twitter, there is a video that shows how I made the leaves blowing in the wind as an overlay for the latest Archie issue. I did it all in Unity, and I go over just a simplified version of the process for that. And very fun video to make, and hopefully it'll be helpful for some people. Another editing thing. Vegas, I almost wish I learned Premiere instead, because Vegas poses a lot of interesting challenges that I didn't think I would face with comic dubs. There's a lot of visual effects that I have to get really crafty to recreate, like the glitch effects in Tangle and Whisper, or the Warp Topaz screen effects. I have to kind of I have to get really crafty with those. Just abusing certain aspects of abusing certain aspects of Vegas that I've just kind of learned. Just tips on the battlefield. Recently, I've been doing compositing work for the animated intro of this one game. I'm not going to plug it too much here, but I'm doing things with Vegas for that. Well, I was doing things, because I'm done now. I was doing things for that compositing that Vegas is really not built for. Handling tons and tons and tons of frames at once, handling like pans of entire like frames at once. Just, oh my God. It made me realize, oh, this is why Premiere is favored among professionals, because Vegas is really designed for much more simple tasks, and eventually you'll push it too far, like I did. The dubs don't usually get pushed too far, but that particular compositing job I was tasked with was insane. It made me wish that I grew up with Premiere, but I mean, I'm proud of what I do with Vegas. And everybody else on the team, aside from Dylan and I think Tech and Hyper, use Premiere.
I have Premiere. I'm fortunate enough
everybody
to
else
have
uses
to.
Vegas. Oh wait, no, Scrolly uses Premiere, I think too.
Yeah.
Everybody else uses Vegas, so it works out.
Yeah, I think the worst thing about editing. I won't be too long. I know we've spent ages on this question already, but the masking for text is
Oh, God.
just the worst thing in the world. It is kills all momentum.
Can we get an F in the chat for that?
Yeah.
Issue 4 of Archie. Sorry, I'll just get this done real quick. Issue 4 of Archie is 90% long-winded dialogue, and I'm putting it off. I really just do not want to do the masking for that. I will cry if I have to do that.
Yeah. That was what was tough about issue 20 for me, because that's like mostly talking and just slow stuff. And from a perspective of watching the dubs, sometimes you need those moments, but from editing, it's really mundane. I mean, it's again, from a writing standpoint, I get it. It literally doesn't cause an issue for anybody but us editors. So, it's not like bad storytelling or anything. It's just really, really slow to edit, because I love doing like the action stuff a lot more. Yeah, oh God, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, like masking the text is really tough, especially when like you're moving things around. I have a few guides in the Adrenaline Dub server. It's in ADub Talk and some of the threads. I have a few guides on how I tackle things like that, I think, and how I just do like moving text fades. It's really, really not easy, but I've just got it down to a science now. Whenever I explain it to some people, they probably think I'm speaking an alien language, because it's just doing stuff with Vegas that you probably wouldn't think was even possible. And it seems like such a simple task, but it's so meticulous. You have to like copy the text onto a second layer, and then like it's a whole process. It's painful.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. I think did everyone get a chance to answer that?
I think so. I don't know about Tech.
I would say, since we like focused a lot more on on the editing side, I think for voice acting, the fun part is just bringing the characters to life. One of my favorite characters to voice is Charmy, because it's like, oh boy, I get to be a 6-year-old hyperactive boy, and just like I get a lot of joy voicing him. But there are also moments where it's hard to I'm trying to figure out my words. Sorry. When there's like more serious moments, especially within the Metal Virus saga. It's just hard to portray that sometimes. Like, I struggled to voice Tails in issue 21 because like he's clearly upset about what's happening because like he just had the cure and now he's lost it.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that emotion like right for the situation that they're in, you know.
Yeah, I think another prime example would also be like Cream.
Oh yeah.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, Cream in Metal Virus Saga is another prime example of like one of those characters that like in the situations that they're in would be extremely difficult to adapt to because it's and like when we had the Ian Flynn panel, it was interesting to talk about that exact moment too because like in terms of like what the character goes through, like in the voice performances that you guys have to do, I'm sure that there's a lot of like directorial things that you have to go about doing when you want to make like drive certain points home with the characters and their characterizations.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tech, did you have an answer?
What was the question? I'm so sorry.
What's the fun and like challenging stuff when it like comes to dubbing? So I guess for you, like just like
relating to
music or.
Well, I don't think. I was gonna say Omega is not really too much of a challenge. It's just monotone or not monotone. Whatever take works on that department. It helps to have like the kind of the ideas in my head kind of premeditated, but I don't get that as much for Archie because I'm less familiar with Archie. Yep. Sorry, one sec. But yeah. But I kind of enjoy being able to kind of improvise on the spot. Kind of make my own themes on the spot. But it's also kind of it goes slower as a result sometimes, and that's my fault entirely. However, I think it's still just as enjoyable as the IDW scoring.
Yeah. The scores for just everything are very, very, very good. It's always a delight hearing. That's another thing that's really fun, just hearing the finished score. Because usually, Tech just kind of, he doesn't tend to send work in progress versions. I mean, sometimes he does, but not always. When he doesn't, like, he's just working, and then he sends it, and we can use it, and it's like, I usually don't get the full picture until the video's already out. So it's always a joy to just hear it in full for the first time and hear everything come together. And it's always phenomenal.
I bet.
I agree.
That was a good question.
And thank you for the question. Was it Angie?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think I will call on the next question. Let's see here. I am going to call up. I'll go with Micah Hedgehog.
Howdy, Micah.
Micah!
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hello. Sorry, I'm a bit stuffed up.
It's all good.
What is your favorite part of doing these dubs, I guess?
Result.
Sort of, yeah, result. But I mean, stuff like the action sequences is also really fun. Oh God. That was not a sound that a human should be able to make. To differentiate it from the last question, because it was kind of in the same vein, I think one of my favorite things to work on is occasionally I'll do unique sound effects. I did all the Warp Topaz effects, and those were really fun. Also the sound design for which issue was it? Issue maybe 13? Was that the one where it was Sonic and Tails against Rough and Tumble?
Yeah, it was that
Yeah, that one was really fun. That was the first time I picked up the. That was the first time I was using a Dragon Ball Xenoverse sound effect pack that I had acquired after Battle for Angel Island, and I was just having a lot of fun combining those sounds with the sounds that we were already using, combining it with Dylan's sounds, combining it with some Fortnite sounds, because Fortnite has a lot of really wonderful, like a huge resource of wonderful and overly specific sound effects that don't sound like Looney Tunes sounds, but they sound cartoony enough to service Sonic. But they're also grounded enough to not, be too overly stylized. See, the Dragon Ball sounds are like super stylized, and I think that works great for, in particular, like the classic stuff. Gerbil's sound pass on that was perfect. But for modern, they lean slightly more towards a realistic style. So for that, typically I fall back to Fortnite. They sound decently fantasy enough, but it's a good balance. But it's also not quite anime. But combining those with Dragon Ball sounds is also really fun for moments that kind of need that kind of anime touch. And also combining it with existing Sonic sound effects, of course. Like there's a scene in issue 13 where Sonic, I use like an instant transmission kind of sound for when Sonic dashes away and appears behind Tumble. And that's a combination of some whoosh sounds from Fortnite, I think, and, a sound from Dragon Ball. It's very, very fun to do those sorts of sounds. You, Gerbil?
So the question was the best thing about editing the dubs?
Yeah.
That's a very tough question. I suppose realistically, like I said, the result and the positive and constructive feedback is really good. There's a really, really nice feeling when you work with someone to make something. Like you work closely with someone to make something that maybe you lack expertise on, and they chip in and make it the best they can make it. So you have this product of two people putting their absolute best in their own respective fields, and you make a really nice product. And I think the important thing with us is that we are willing to delay something to make sure that we get that standard of quality. And I think the collaborative effort of the dubs is what makes it great, and also the final product is definitely what makes it great.
Yeah, that's nice.
You, Tech?
Well, you said the result. The big payout for me is being able to like usually with my own music, I see the payout is being able to inspire others through the music I create. Sorry for the beeping in the background. And to see that these dubs can inspire others is probably that is the biggest payout for me.
Oh yeah, because you actually inspired me to get back into doing music stuff. That's nice.
I'm so glad to hear it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like I've said before, I just really love bringing these comics to life because then you could get a better understanding of the stories, and sometimes there are jokes that you didn't realize were jokes in the comics, and when it's actually being said is actually really funny. In the was it issue 19 and 20, it's Omega had really good lines in that made me laugh so much than when I read it in the comic itself. And then just all the positive comments that I get that we get on the videos is it's really nice, and that I'm just glad that we're able to entertain people and just
Exactly.
Right. I think that's everyone. Did everyone?
yeah.
I think everyone got a chance to answer that one. thank you for the question, Micah,
No
and
problem.
we'll see you around. Have a good night.
Yep, you too.
All
Hey,
right.
Kelp, I think we have a special someone that wants to ask a question. Excuse
Oh,
me.
do we now?
Uh
Why
huh.
don't you invite them up?
Me Tunes, come to the stage.
Yeah,
on,
Me
Me
Tunes!
Tunes.
Yeah! Woo, Me Tunes!
Go Me Tunes.
Tunes!
Yeah!
Howdy, me
There he
tunes.
is.
How's it going?
Hello.
What's up, dude?
Adrenaline fam.
What'd you want to ask?
Hey, I just gotta say first up, I'm so happy you guys got a panel for this. I knew you guys would have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. Again, it's just
I-
big props to Landy for being cool.
Yeah, right. I mean, as
Or
always.
should we say way past cool?
The jokes
but
we have
I
them.
just gotta.
So lame.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
just gotta
God.
say, I'm so happy to have known you guys. I feel like I tell you guys this all the time, but the way you operate everything and just such just crazy quality on everything you guys do, and you guys honestly elevate the text of these comics in a way that I feel like you wonder, you're amazed at how much this blew up. I'm not really surprised, to be honest, because the work you guys do is so cinematic. It's crazy.
Really
It's
appreciate
cinematic,
it.
And I'm just
earnest, and it's
yeah.
honestly like the workflow is and behind the scenes is one of the best I'm a part of.
Feels so seamless. It's crazy, I think comics are not. You guys get people invested in these stories because of the work you guys do and the love you put into it. So I'm not surprised at all, and I'm just so happy to be remotely involved in the chaos you guys are doing over there. So,
And we're happy
thank
to have you
but-
on board. So thank you too.
Oh, aw, shucks. So my question is, since you guys have been doing this for so long, I just kind of have to ask, what would you say just Adrenaline Dubs as an operation, as a channel, kind of as an experience, just overall, how has it affected you guys in any way?
It got me back into video editing. At some point, I kind of lost steam for it, which is why I passed the keys over to Ryan. But I mean, I'm working on a 4-parter thing, and that's been decently fun. Right now, I'm back to doing things that I really, really love doing, which is the backgrounds of stuff and working inside Unity to figure out how to make cool credits backgrounds and stuff like that. Overall, it was a pretty good mood boost for a while. Eventually, my like I said, I ran out of steam kind of, and it just kind of became part of a routine. Just kind of became part of my day-to-day life. So, obviously I couldn't keep the momentum going forever, but getting back into the swing of things has been really fun too. It's gotten most of us into places we didn't expect to be in on lots of fan games. A lot of our connections. I mean, some of us are in the game Postal 4, which is crazy.
That's crazy. I'm so happy for you guys on that. I was so shocked. I was like, "Whoa, what?"
Yeah. And if you're young, do not look up Postal 4. It's a little crass. But
Yeah.
give it a few years, and you could check out the work that we've done. And there's more work coming too. So maybe in a few years, there's going to be a lot of stuff for that radio station we have in the game. That's a crazy opportunity. And Glide's also been a pretty crazy opportunity too for some of us. Very fun project to work on. Generally, it's just gotten us to really fun places, and that's pretty much all I can say. Aside from it's brought me and the crew together, because in a way we operate like one big family. Not everybody knows everybody super intimately, but a lot of us are good friends. Like us 4, we're solid friends. I'd consider Me Tunes a good friend. I'd consider just folks like Trev, folks like Cole, folks like Skrillo. Just we're all solid friends, and that's good.
crazy, wild, extended family, and I love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not everybody's super buddy. Well, not in a bad way. Some people just aren't too present, and that's fine. You know, not everybody can be super hooked in, and that's cool. But you know, a lot of us are, a lot of us hang out, and it's very nice. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I just love that we have so many people in this project, and they all come from like different backgrounds and stuff. And I love getting to know them and like their experience and like what they can bring to the table for Adrenaline Dubs. And I love how, because I want to be a voice actor as my career, and so doing these fan dubs is helping me build up my skill for voice acting. And
That's another thing too. The skills.
yeah, it's a great way to build up my skills, and I've gotten better at video editing, though I would need to expand my skills other than comic dub editing, because like that's the only thing I know when it comes to
You'll get there.
yeah. But yeah, just this group just gives so many opportunities, just in and out of Adrenaline Dubs. And I just love that.
Yeah. What about you, Gerbil?
Yeah, I think I agree with. I think you guys covered it pretty well, to be honest. Yeah, just the bonds that we all have, and the fact that a lot of us are quite good friends that we've known for each other for like 4 or 5 years. So it's like it's easier to work with people that you know on a personal level, and everything comes naturally. And yeah, it's I completely agree with them. It's definitely the one of the things that drive us, to be honest.
Yeah. And Tech?
For Ryan said it was a good chance, gives them a chance to, improve their voice acting. For me, it's of course my music, and it gives me also a chance to finally be able to work on some ideas that I've had in my head for maybe a couple of years now. Expand on themes that I've had on the docket for, I think one of them I had since 2010.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That one's one that's technically released, but it's also coming up in the dubs.
Mm.
The it's not the entirety of it, but it's part of the imposter syndrome theme.
Mm.
Part of that was like used to be something completely different. An idea that I had back in 2010.
Yeah, it's really good sounding. I can't wait to dub Imposter Syndrome and hear that score and just hear everything come together.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy when it's out. I'm so excited for you guys on that one. Just
Indeed, me too.
So I think that's pretty much all bases covered with that.
Yeah.
Just again, thank you guys. I'm honestly, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like surprisingly shaky. It's like I know y'all, but like you guys crazy. It's seriously, you guys inspire me so much. Like I wouldn't.
You inspire us, man. I see like your art all the time. You are a work machine. It's crazy. It's
right.
I try to be. I try. And I'm just honored to even be remotely a part of this. Voicing Zor, he's really fun. I'm surprisingly relaxed with him. It's almost like a part of my DNA.
Heavy King was an absolute blast. Thank you all for letting me play.
Yeah. Heavy King was fantastic.
You just went and belted that out, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Well, thank you,
Such an
me,
guys
awesome
so
voice.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that awesome question.
Y'all.
See you
See
later.
ya.
Right,
That was lovely.
I think
Yeah,
we
that was
will
nice.
wrap up the audience questions with that special appearance from Me Tunes. But I think for this last little bit of the panel, I think the best thing that we could do is maybe, look to the future of adrenaline dubs and things like that, and maybe talk a little bit more about, what is coming on down the pipeline.
Well, I can answer a few of these. What I can first say is I don't know what we're going to do about Boom. That's up to Gerbil, and he seems pretty focused on Archie for now, which I'm fine with. So sadly, we don't have any Boom news, but, maybe we will soon. Archie's going to keep going along pretty steadily. Gerbil's got university coming up, I think. That might swallow a bit of his time. I wouldn't really like to speak for him too much in that regard, but we're going to, regardless, try and continue Archie no matter what, because it's been pretty fun to fully realize that world with audio and editing and music. It's been lovely. I've almost enjoyed seeing the outcome of that a little more than IDW, just because I've been working with the IDW stuff for like 4 years now, editing wise, and changing up the pace with Archie, and it's just totally different world and much more like a Saturday morning cartoon story arc type of deal. That's been a whole lot of fun. I also love we went with the whole Dark Age theme. The whole tone of it is like just a homage to the pretty cheesy but like serious tone of like the Dark Age games, and the soundtrack. I mean, we have those mixes of the Sonic theme that sound like his world almost. So it's very much like a tribute to that era, and that's been a really fun change of pace compared to IDW, which was more built off of the backup forces, and then goes immediately into the metal virus. IDW has been great in its own right, but it's really just a change of pace thing that's been really fun. But yeah, Archie's going to continue because we love doing it so much, and it's really fun to see all those characters come together and see how their portrayals end up. And it's going to be really fun to do the champion stuff too. IDW is obviously going to keep trucking along. We've got a 4-parter coming up. It's issues 26 through 29, and it's just that whole all or nothing arc, and that's going to be really, really fun. Aside from that, we've got a few other projects lined up. We've got an April Fool's video that you're going to absolutely love, probably. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not going to say a thing about it.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's going to be pretty good. And then
I want to say, sorry, I do want to comment about 26, 29. I've got something that's been already in the works for that 4-parter.
That's going to be awesome. I think I know what you're talking about. That's going to be sick. And of course, we're getting to Mega Drive, and I'm not going to say a whole lot about that because there's not much to say, but what I will say is we're taking some big strides with Mega Drive. It might be one of the most impressive comic dub projects you will have seen. We're playing our cards really, really well with that. That's going to be really fun. Again, I won't say much about it because there's not much to say right now, but when you see it, you'll probably agree that it's like
groundbreaking.
It is groundbreaking.
Oh, gosh, I can't wait.
And we got a few original ideas that we have for Adrenaline dubs. One of them I'm very excited to work on. I don't want to spoil anything, so like look forward to that.
Yeah, there's a lot that we have to hold back, sadly, but it's gonna be pretty good. Adrenaline Labs has a great future. Hopefully, you'll get to see it this year.
If I may, this is something I'm kind of announcing live that I have talked to you guys about. But in the Archie comics, there is a off-panel bit at the end of the comics, and we've sort of both decided, me and Lenny, that sorry, me and Ryan, that it's best that we're going to make a big video of like a bunch of funny off-panel Archie skits and do like a half-yearly thing where we compile a bunch into like maybe a 10-20 minute video, and that'll be the off-panel like comedic shorts that we release like like every 6 months, just to keep people tied and stuff.
Yeah.
There you go.
I want to quickly answer Mega Hog's question. I don't think we're gonna dub anything outside of Sonic. We are a Sonic channel. We might eventually do like crossover stuff. Like I know people are theorizing that like IDW Sonic is gonna have a crossover with the other IDW comic series. Like I know like people are wanting like Sonic and TMNT or Sonic and Transformers. We might dub that if that happens. So
I might try to team up with Star Force. They do the TMNT IDW dubs, and I've heard good things about them. I haven't watched them though, but that'd be a fun team to collab with for if it's a Sonic and TMNT crossover that we end up getting in the future.
They're incredible.
Yeah, we were thinking of doing a I forget which one it was, one of the Sonic and Mega Man crossovers. We were thinking of handling that, but not many people on the team know Mega Man all that well.
It might come to fruition. It depends on how keen Hyper is. We may do the Mega Man crossover comics. Maybe one, or maybe just the main ones that tie into the reboot series rather than the Worlds Collide stuff. Just
yeah,
like
that would make sense.
Yeah, I don't want to just leave context out, so maybe look forward to that. We'll see how we go.
That's fair. I didn't know that we were actually that like confident in doing it. I was going to do it a while back. The idea was that I would use members from Hyper's cast in addition to ours, but then I realized he and his entire cast already covered that, and I didn't want to step on any toes. I don't know how we're going to handle it for Adrenaline Dubs. That's up to Gerbil and Hyper, but I guess you can look forward to it.
Well, I think that pretty much about wraps it up. Sydney, what do you think?
I think so. Everybody give a huge round of applause for our panelists, Landy, Sergeant Gerbil, Sergeant Gerbil. Oh my goodness, call me Ryan and Techno Cinema. Oh my gosh.
Give them a huge round of applause. It was an honor to have them on board for this panel and to get to chat with them about their comic dubs. Seriously, you all, if you haven't already, go check out the Adrenaline Dubs YouTube channel. Check out all of their stuff. They make some amazing comic dubs. Their cast is fantastic. They put in so much time and so much effort into making these amazing dubs for you guys to watch. So please, please give them the respect that they are due, because it is insanely cool how they do it. And it was, speaking for myself, as both a fan of Adrenaline Dubs and as a member of Sonic Revolution, it was an honor to talk with you guys. Seriously.
It was an honor to be here.
I was so glad we got to do this.
You can check out the OSTs on my channel.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can check out the first half of the Metal Virus Saga on the OST on Spotify.
Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, pretty much anywhere.
Yep.
Bandcamp. Anyway.
With that, I think we are done. So, Sydney, do you want to talk briefly about the next upcoming panels for tomorrow?
Yes. So we have a whole bunch of panels coming up this next month. Tomorrow, we have a really exciting panel. We will be hosting a Q&A with Incredible Shadow 759 tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. They do amazing work, and you don't want to miss learning about behind the scenes there. And Kelp, you have something going on tonight, don't you?
I do, baby. I've been waiting for it. So we're not done with panels tonight. I will see you back here for a late night panel at 11:30 for the Kelp Variety Hour and a Half, where I will just be hosting a panel, answering questions, talking about voice acting, and all sorts of things relating to Sonic and or other. And yeah, just feel free to tune in, check it out. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys, and it was a blast. We got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline, and I'm really excited for some of the stuff we've got going on. But once again, thank you to all of the Adrenaline Dubs crew for coming on out and doing this panel with us, and we will see you guys all next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
I'm out of here.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.